What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here on the Odd Chopper channel, coming to you with another edition of Ladies, Leans, Likes, and Locks. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a long way for me on this video. Goes a long way for you. That way you become apprised of great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. Monday was a smash. Absolute Hulk smash on the video, on the premium betting card. Everything was lovely across the board. Tuesday is off to a really good start here as well. Brandon Miller ends up covering that PRA like instantly in the snap of a fingers for us. And then we've got Minnesota. They were up double digits here heading into the third quarter. Wow, Luka goes 5-4-3. Ended up on Luka assists plus rebounds, and then a triple-double sprinkle there in the premium Discord. Again, it's $12 when you use promo code Lindy at the link below and sign up for Odd Chopper, so check that out. We'll talk about BetMGM a little bit later here in this program as well, but I want you guys hanging out there. We have an NBA betting channel that is just flying around here now. We combined all the insider channels, so you can talk to any of us, myself, Greg Ehrenberg, Isaiah Swaros. Awesome time, $12 for your first week, $42 for your first month if you use promo code Lindy regularly. Well, super cheap anyway. Again, super cheap stuff to check out. $14.99 for the premium betting tools and the Discord. Awesome stuff. But we're going to continue on our merry way. We got 7 games. We got a healthier Thursday than most days. That's for sure. Kind of some interesting reads, some teams on back-to-backs. I'm going to talk you through it all. Producer Jacob, hi, hello. Let's get to the picks. Our day begins with the Philadelphia 76ers. Heard that Joel Embiid guy's pretty good at basketball. Taking on the Indiana Pacers, who are 0-3 in the Pascal Siakam era. It should technically not even be an era. It's like the Tyrese Halliburton's been out era is probably the right way of putting it. But the 76ers, we of course have to talk about the absolute smash that was Joel Embiid. He smashed. He was playing San Antonio. You would expect him to smash. His pace, everything. They're a stick figure in Wembanyama out there. They are 4th in pace. You know who's faster? Indiana. 2nd in pace in the NBA. 102.8 possessions per 48 minutes. I mean, this opened at 38.5, I think, or no, 36.5. I have it right on my sheet. All right. I was going to say 38.5. I'd be looking at potentially an under, but again, it sounds like an insane thing to say out loud, but I have a play in the center on the other side of things because I ran into this number. These are the things that happen behind the scenes. And sometimes I find a little nugget and it's fun to throw out there. Did you know Joel Embiid gives up almost 1 3 per game to opposing centers, which is the highest rate out of any starting center in the Eastern Conference, and 97th percentile in the entire NBA. That's a nugget for you, friends. Again, that should make sense. Joel Embiid, he is focused offensively. He is out there crushing for you, doing everything on the offensive end. And then defensively, he blocks a lot of shots. He crowds the lane. He's actually pretty good in helping pick and roll, but he will give Miles Turner some open threes here in this spot. Now, the opening number is over 1.5 threes at plus 140. I actually prefer points, which is a little bit strange because, again, I'm talking about 3-point shooting. And, well, Eric, why don't we just bet the threes at plus money here? Well, I think we might get a little bit better number if we sit, wait, wish, hope you believe in superstitions. Then maybe we'd see the signs. That was some Jack Johnson. Don't know why I had to throw that in there. But 37 minutes against a true center in Nikola Jokic. Miles Turner is going to be out there again for as many minutes as he can handle, because you want him guarding Joel Embiid. I'm just going to throw this out there. The Toronto series where Pascal Siakam was on Joel Embiid and stuff, I mean, there was a lot of help defense. Just don't read into that in any way, shape, or form because it's not going to be indicative of what Indiana wants to do here in this spot. Miles Turner, I expect a lot of minutes here. They are trying to right the ship. Tyrese Halliburton will continue to be out. I think the usage goes up. I think the opportunity against Embiid here from 3 goes up a little bit. He's only shooting 33.3% here on the season, 9 for 27 in his last 10 days. But I'm just saying things are going to improve here for Miles Turner from 3 because they need to. They need his shooting here. So Miles Turner over 16.5 points, I like. And over 1.5 threes on what's your radar. If it touches plus 150, friends, we are jumping in the deep end of that pool. The Utah Jazz taking on the Washington Wizards, who are currently playing my Minnesota Timberwolves here. And Minnesota is up 14 with just under 6 minutes to play. I am sweating that one in that 10.5 ticket. That would be nice. I know a lot of people are parlaying those first 2 together, the Brandon Miller and the Minnesota minus 10.5. Always makes me a little nervous because I'm like, well, you know, you don't split what would be a 1-1 spot. But anyway, if they can win by double digits, well, by 11 for me, for a lot of people, then I will be happy with things. But we continue on our merry way. Let's talk about Utah, who have been downright really, really good. Now, last time out, that was not pretty. New Orleans, absolute blowout. But until then, they were 8-2. So that is now 8-3 in their last 11. Looking pretty decent here with some of these rotations. Now, You got Sexton. Clarkson played as bad as possible against New Orleans the other night. And then Lauri Markkanen didn't even get to get his normal run, just 27 minutes, went 4 for 15 from the floor himself. But with his true shooting, with a 49% from the field and 39% from three average, he will be just fine. Maybe Utah holds on to some pieces here and tries to make a little bit of a run. Obviously, they need to make a run in this game in order to make that something that is palatable here in 2 weeks before the trade deadline. Gotta say, Washington, just egregious stuff. Although Deni Avdija in this starting unit has been playing better for them. He obviously was the highlight centerfold there as we are watching the end of this game. Again, 108-96, 4:30 left. God, this is getting a little bit sweaty. But Utah, 26-18, and then won against the spread there as well. Pretty wild to see those kind of numbers here. I'm still not a buyer here at these kind of numbers. Washington is on the back-to-back. I'm leaning that direction as a result, even though the data has this pretty flat, and obviously the total is almost perfectly efficient considering Washington. We know by now they bring pace. Actually, number one in pace now, just ever so slightly above Indy there. First in pace, obviously, they don't bring the offense the same way. 111.8 adjusted offensive rating. That's 25th in the NBA. So, long story short, Utah, lots of rotations, lots of pieces that they need to find minutes for, and maybe some guys in like a Walker Kessler. Can they move that? Fontecchio, he's starting to knock down shots. He can shoot a basketball, 40% from three now on the season. Utah -7, just a lean, thought about betting it, but 7 games, we're going to find some props. We're going to find some other value there in the premium Discord. Come hang out. You know what? Speaking of, let's talk about that quick. OddsShopper friends, $14.95 weekly, $49.95 monthly. Again, you get the premium tools, the positive EV tool, the holy grail there of sports betting, getting an opportunity to market-based approach. So what is that? Well, you're looking at the best sports books in your state, and you are betting the best lines every single time. Whether that is at DraftKings, FanDuel, BetMGM, I don't care. But $14.95 weekly for that, in addition to my betting card, to Isaiah Suarez's betting card, to Nathan Joyce's betting card, Greg Ehrenberg's betting card, Eitan Shander's betting card, everybody you know and love here on the OddsShopper channel, bringing you their bets. Something to tell throughout the day, and really, really sharp people that are bringing you that information. Also, we're less than, 2 months away from baseball? Heard Eric Lindquist is pretty good at baseball. Just throwing it out there. Anyway, $14.95 weekly. Been pretty good in the NBA streets, if I do say so myself, over the last month. But $14.95 weekly. And then when you use promo code Lindy, Lindy, look at me, I can spell my own nickname, 20% off that first week or first month. Fire it up, friends. Expert picks, Discord, premium tools, all in one place. $12 for your first week or $42 for your first month. And then $15 a week after that, $49.95 for the month. Pretty great stuff, my friends. We continue on our merry way. Sign up for OddsShopper below. Next up on the card, we got my Minnesota Timberwolves, who were absent Mike Conley. Late add to the injury report, ended up being out. He had a rumbly in his tumbly or something. Don't really know. Could have also been saving up for the back-to-back. They're going to be taking on Brooklyn, and I will say we saw vintage Mikal Bridges. And vintage, I mean like the tail end after the Kevin Durant trade, 2022, 2023 Mikal Bridges. Yeah, he's pretty freaking good. 37 points, 36 points in 37 minutes. That's what's on my sheet. 14 for 26 from the field, 7 for 13 from three. He will now be facing the best defense in the entire NBA here in the Minnesota Timberwolves. Sure, they're going to be on a back-to-back, but also Mikal Bridges is going to have to deal with Jaden McDaniels, who is a real problem there on the wing. So I don't really look at individual defense, but you watch my Minnesota Timberwolves and the rim presence of Rudy Gobert. When Karl Anthony Towns decides to be engaged, it's really enjoyable. But overall, there's no doubt Jaden McDaniels, he is that dude on the defensive end. We'll also say 38.2% for him for three, nearly 52% from the field. True shooting starting to rise. The guy is having a career year after getting paid, so that's useful. Again, they wanted him around. They needed him around. It's a great fit. Anyway, a 219 total is pretty darn low. I will say, though, can't really fire the over. I thought that was going to look pretty good. I think Mike Conley, yeah, we'll see if he ends up playing, whether he does or not. It's going to be Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who is out there mainly for defensive purposes, a long, lanky wing-type frame at point guard, but -4.5. That is what's projecting out the best here. We don't have props from this one yet. I'm sure I'm going to be interested looking at Cat from three here, considering Nick Claxton on the other side, considering Dorian Finney-Smith a little bit undersized. Going to be looking at some numbers there on that side of things. But overall, oh my God, let's check in on this 9-point game. This is going to just be the ultimate sweat here. Gobert just smashing Washington, but only up 9 here, 3:40 left. And we got Gobert going to the line. God, this is sweaty. Anywho, you don't care about what's happening on now. Let's care about tomorrow. Minnesota -4.5, just a lean. Probably not going to bet it. If this weren't a back-to-back, I would be betting Minnesota -4.5. Let me just throw that out there right now. The Boston Celtics, the Miami Heat, and what a world we are living in when the Miami Heat trade for Terry Rozier. And here's your starting lineup from Wednesday. Tyler Hero, Josh Richardson, Jimmy Butler, Haywood Highsmith, Bam Adebayo. Maybe Terry Rozier, hey, let's ease him in. Let's teach him the Miami Heat way, which we know is kind of a thing. Spoelstra, Riley, they do things a little bit differently than every other team in the NBA. But kind of weird to get Terry Rozier, give up a first-round pick. Kyle Lowry, you're not giving up much at this point. 37 years old. We'll see if he lands with a contender, although it's going to be hard because it sounds like his mid-level exception. There's going to be some interesting contract issues that exist for Kyle Lowry. We'll see if he lands somewhere here post-deadline or before the deadline. Maybe he gets attached to something. It's not like Charlotte's done making moves. They're going to move Gordon Hayward. They're probably going to move a lot of guys if we're being honest. But Boston, God, I want to bet them on a back-to-back here at -6.5. I should be pulling the trigger on this one too. But you know that Miami is going to bring slow, lethargic pace, and it doesn't create enough possessions for me to really see Boston win the way that you want to see Boston win, which is pretty much every way that they want. Adjusted offensive rating first, adjusted defensive rating second behind the Minnesota Timberwolves, and they've had a pretty tough strength the schedule here as well. And Miami, despite the fact that they're down at just a flat 0.1, that's 18th in the NBA in adjusted net rating, they're still just going to find ways to win basketball games. 24-19. It's annoying. They're annoying because Eric Spoelstra, one of the top 2-3 coaches in the entire NBA, don't think it's remotely close. He finds ways to make these kind of games close. So even though it's 19-23-1 against the spread, as you start running in some of the numbers with this projected rotation, I think Rozier has to start sooner rather than later. Maybe they do want to stagger him with Tyler Hero, which again is kind of weird to me when you're giving up a first rounder and then you just don't utilize it right away. But again, it's one game. It's a guy who just got off a plane. Maybe he was searching for a house today in Miami. I know I would be. I'm never leaving. I'm not even leaving. I really don't have a whole lot else to say here. Boston, under. You know what? I think we'll take an under. Doesn't that sound nice? Under 225, because I do expect this thing to be really grinded out pace, and Miami's not going to start Rozier. It's ever so slightly on the betting card, my friends. Ever so slightly. Doesn't even feel all that good, but I got to say, Boston's going to win any way that they want, and I assume that they'll play to their pace, and it'll be just fine, because everybody's healthy. Everybody's awesome. Everybody's cool, and you're part of the team, and everybody's awesome. It's the Lego movie. Denver -2.5 taking on the Knicks. Interesting spot that we have before us here because that Jokic character. We're very happy with him. Monday, he goes out and smashes. Jamal Murray smashes. Nobody else was smashing. We ended up getting that cover, kind of a backdoor cover there against Indy without Tyrese Halliburton. But we're a forward-looking show, my friends. Nikola Jokic here has been just sublime as well. I mean, Joel Embiid's doing Joel Embiid things. SGA is playing for the best team in the Western Conference outside of my Minnesota Timberwolves, who just have too much production mattered all over the place between Cat and Anthony Edwards. So it's easier to give it to the focal point in each one of those spots. But Jokic, two-time MVP, there's a reason for it, guys. 26.2 points per game, 12 rebounds, 9 assists per game. But I think this is just a random, interesting spot to be firing up some triple-double numbers here. And anything with a plus number in front of it is going to be decent enough. I'd prefer getting to plus 150 purely because we know the pace isn't going to be there. But there's such a question here on the other side in Isaiah Hartenstein, because if he doesn't play, you're going to want to bet Jokic points props also to go along for the ride, because there is nothing, and I will say just nothing, that will stop him from smashing if Hartenstein can't play in this spot. Now, it's left Achilles tendinopathy? Any doctors out there betting in the streets? Let me know how dumb I sounded just now. But anyway, Precious Achiuwa did not get the start. They ended up going Jericho Sims, who had a bajillion blocks in that first half against Brooklyn, kind of settled down and I mean, that was a home game for the Knicks. Did I tell you? I felt like I told you. And they obviously came out and covered that one pretty nicely for us. Jalen Brunson is that guy, guys. But you know who also is that guy? Nikola Jokic in the Garden. So be prepared, friends. Lion King, be prepared. As we're looking at Jokic, because these rates against somebody that isn't Hartenstein, who isn't a top 5 defensive rated center so far this season, they're going to go off the chain. Now, I want to bring points along for the ride. I want to have that in my repertoire as well. I want to just reiterate him and Jamal Murray. They were just involved in the pick and roll ad nauseum. Again, Michael Porter Jr. knocked down no shots, but we're starting to see the usage up as Jamal Murray is creating more in this offense. 34, 42, 31 points for Nikola Jokic's last 3. Not saying that that's repeatable here. They just played Boston, Washington, Indy. But if this becomes slow, grinded out half-court basketball, I really like the assist rate to continue to rise up. You got to rise up if you're Nikola Jokic here, friends. I like his triple-double numbers as they landed out here across the industry the last couple days. Didn't end up firing it against Indy like the man in shambles that I am, but I think this is a spot. In the Garden, Jokic just wants to be with his horses. Until then, just get a couple triple-doubles while you're at it, my friend. Oh! Check out BetMGM too. By signing up down below, my friends, BetMGM, $5, get 158 in bonus bets. That is 3 separate $50, $50, and $58 bonus bets, respectively, when you sign up with the QR code on your screen or down at the link below. Again, if you have multiple sports books already, awesome. If you don't have BetMGM, add it to the repertoire because you are getting an amazing deal. All you do is deposit $10 or more, bet $5, and get 158 in bonus bets. Let me repeat. Deposit $10, bet $5, get $158 in bonus bets. I don't really know what else needs to be said. It's such a ridiculous bet and get kind of deal that you just want to take advantage of it. There's really nothing that you could do to really screw that up. Again, $10 could be the most that you're out, period, end of story. $5 on the one specific bet, and then the 50, 50, 58 that you get after that. Ridiculous amount of value here waiting in the wings for you over at BetMGM. And if you have Odd Chopper and you jump in that premium Discord, you can ask me exactly what you want to use those bonus bets on. Send me a message and I will help you figure it out. Because again, you want to take some longer shots with some of those bonus bets. You want to get the most bang for your buck, quite literally, when you're utilizing those. It's hashtag math. So check it out. Bet 5, get $158 in bonus bets at the link below or the QR code if you're 21 and over. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Back to the picks we go. 2 games to go. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell as we talk Golden State, which will be on a back-to-back here. Pretty interesting spot, if I do say so myself. They're going to be taking on Sacramento, and Sacramento, they're not on the back-to-back, which seems a little bit unfair in some of these kind of spots, but such is life. Such is the way the cookie crumbles. Golden State, I bet they're just happy to be playing basketball. We'll see how they end up playing here in this spot against Atlanta on Wednesday night. But as I look at the board, friends, it is so easy, clear-cut to me that there is nothing that is really of value here until we see exactly the way that Golden State runs these rotations. We kind of caught them at the worst possible time to go about trying to project anything going forward. Well, hear me out. They've been playing massive minutes there of late. You had that weird game where it's like, oh, we need to make more way for Jonathan Kuminga. And, well, Dario Saric is also going to start at times. But now you get Draymond Green back, and they have so much, not even front court depth, because that's not the right word for it. They have so many fours. They have so many power forwards on this damn basketball team that they either need to play small, stretch it out, hope that you can get more production from Klay Thompson, or you need to make some trades and put Klay Thompson along with somebody, anybody that other teams want to try to get a number 1 and let Draymond Green be that 36, 38-minute guy in the playoffs. Until then, you saw 24 minutes for him his first game back from the suspension. I have no idea what his conditioning looks like. I have no idea what his production is going to look like. All I know is that Kuminga is the guy who had been playing big minutes, even with Draymond there, 29 in that game where they shared the floor last time out in a loss, by the way. It's wild. Anywho, as I look at the other side of this, Sacramento, will say there's nothing of value that I've found yet in the prop market here. I thought about Domantas Sabonis here because the assist rate has been through the roof here of late. And I think the main reason is very easy to understand why. Kevin Huerter inserted into the starting unit. You have Kevin Huerter in dribble handoffs, easy assist opportunities. You also have Keegan Murray, one of the better three-point shooters, or at least the guy who takes the most volume in terms of three-point shooting in the NBA right now. He is on another wing playing 36 minutes a night. Lots of assist opportunities, and the rebounds and points, almost a given for Sabonis here at this point in time. Don't want to jinx it or anything, but It is a lean. I would like a big number here, and some of these numbers are dwindling. They're dwindling. I just went into Kermit the Frog mode for no reason whatsoever. I apologize to everybody. Let's go to the last game of the night, where I have my like/lock. I'll explain. Chicago Bulls, Los Angeles Lakers. Much interesting spot. That's a great way of saying it, Eric. I have no freaking clue what's going on here with LeBron James. I have no idea. He ended up sitting out last time out. Clippers ended up covering for anybody who ended up going down that path. It was a wild back and forth game. Russell Westbrook only played like 18 minutes and completely smashed his PRA. I took the under, of course. But James Harden got a double-double, and I took plus money on that. That felt really nice. The Lakers, without LeBron, this number is obviously going to move because LeBron is one of the most, even at the 21st year in the NBA, one of the most important players to a specific team in the NBA. It changes the style. D'Angelo Russell ended up playing a lot, and he handled the ball pretty much the entire game. Not even Austin Reeves really getting mixed in as another option. Sharing the floor with LeBron, that's kind of an important way that they need to work and actually win basketball games. But from a production standpoint, D'Lo absorbing almost all of it. Austin Reeves, he'll get it going eventually, but Anthony Davis even, just not even involved in a lot of ways. Probably the quietest, like 28-point outing you're ever going to see as long as you live. But I hate live because they ruined golf. Just wanted to throw it out there. Dad joke. Anyway, 26 points is what he had the other night anyway. I was looking at that wrong. Anywho, Chicago on the other side, friends, perfectly healthy. Now, perfectly healthy, knowing that they're probably going to make a lot of moves here. Zach LaVine's on the shelf and Patrick Williams. I'm just saying perfectly healthy is that there's no known quantities that can go throwing this into obscurity. And I'm getting +6. I know that they're on the road here, but Kobe White's been damn good. Vooch has been better. DeMar DeRozan is who DeMar DeRozan is. And I mean, Caruso, does he have revenge in his heart? We shall find out. He won a title, a Mickey Mouse title, as some people would call it. I'm not one of those people, but other people might. Oh, you mean you won in excruciating circumstances in a bubble where you couldn't do anything? Oh, strange. That seems like something you should not get 2 titles for. Plus, they just hung a banner for an in-season tournament. So maybe we could just count it towards that. Anywho, Celtics fans probably enjoy that rant. Producer Jacob being one of them. Either who, friends, Chicago. We're talking math. We talk standard deviations. We talk range of outcomes. If LeBron is out in this spot, this line is going to come inside of 4. I could probably find a better phrasing. It's like from Archer. Is phrasing not a thing anymore? But yeah, it's probably going to come inside of 4. It'll be 4 or 3.5 or again, phrasing. Lakers, friends, this is just such a strange spot for me. I don't understand this number at open. +6. There's an actual chance LeBron James sits in this one. I got to take it. Now, this is where the lock portion of this comes in. I have taken it for a half unit because I would lock it if I knew that LeBron James was out. I think everybody would. But I'm going to put a half unit, and I'm going to try to read the tea leaves a little bit later in the day. I think that's the best course of action. But if you're not somebody who can try to react to the news, if you have a full-time job, if you are worried that this number is going to move, if there is an opportunity for you to not get more money down on Chicago later, based on the news, based on how things pan out, then just lock it now. Go ahead and put your full unit on it. I'd be just fine with it. No idea what happened there at the end, but that does it for another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. You know what to do, friends. Head to that comment section below. Let me know your favorite plays that exist here on the board for Wednesday. Hopefully you had a fantastic Tuesday. We'll see the results as we pan them up. We'll tally them up there in the premium Discord and keep it on moving, my friends. Monday was awesome. Let's get Tuesday across the finish line here. Let's get ourselves the heck up out of here. Thank you, producer Jacob. We shall get out of here before, I don't know, the world's like ending right now. Everything's shutting down. It's getting really... My computer's working very hard to stay on here at the moment. But until then, friends, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the NBA street.